Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to the Courage to Become podcast. Today, I have a very special treat for you with my guest, Miss Yana Kaneva, who is a mindfulness and manifestation teacher, as well as the founder of the Manifestation Academy for Wealthpreneurs. So, I invited Yana on today because I want to show you that it's possible when you have the courage to become whoever you want to be. But also because Yana's work may also support some of you business owners who might want to grow to the next level but might be feeling stuck. So Yana has personally helped me with this by showing me areas where I was blocking myself. And even just before we started this recording, we were chatting about it, and she already showed me another area where I was blocked. So even after all the work I've done on myself, I still get blocks. And if you're a business owner and you're feeling stuck, like you can't move forward, then Yana is your girl. So welcome to the Courage to Become podcast, Yana, and I'm super excited to have you here.
Oh,
Welcome.
thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm also very excited. You and I have worked before. We have collaborated before. We helped each other so many times, even though, we're in different parts of the world. And I am so happy that we continue to support each other's businesses in a way. It's great. Yeah.
I agree. And even from the very moment that we met, I
Mm.
just felt this connection. I can't even explain it. It was a feeling in my heart that I was like, you know this person. You've talked to her before. There's just that soul connection. So I
Do,
love chatting with you. I love
yeah.
exchanging
Do,
information and sharing. And
do you remember what I said to you when we talked the first time? You and I knew each other in previous lifetime.
oh, I definitely believe that
Yeah.
wholeheartedly.
Yeah, but it's good. It's really, I'm really pleased to see that you're creating this podcast because our one of our missions as light workers is to inspire people and to light the way towards better life.
Yes, totally. Um, I would love if people I know your journey a little bit, but if you could introduce yourself and talk a little bit about your journey into the coaching and manifestation realm, just to get my listeners to understand a little bit better where you come from and what it is you do to support.
Right. So I used to have a normal job like everybody else. I was raised in a normal working class family. My parents, they brought me to, they raised me to have good work ethic and to respect my employer. I used to be a cleaner many years ago, and slowly over the years, I got a better job. My last actually normal job was a quantity surveyor, which was a highly paid corporate position. And I started my first business venture in 2018, and I worked and ran a business at the same time. And only recently, I had enough and I quit my job to focus on my business. I started coaching a few years ago. I remember how long ago. I think that when I left London, so it was 20, I want to say 2022. And and I realized I'm really good at making things happen. And I thought, hold on a minute, I can do this not only as a business, but also as a way to help people and to help businesses. Because I don't know if you've noticed, but over the last 5 years, a lot of people decided to transition from normal jobs into running their own businesses. And the number is now rising because I get more queries now. Since the beginning of the year, I receive more queries than I ever have before. And because I do tarot cards reading for businesses as well, a lot of businesses get the same messages from the universe: moving on, letting go, work on yourself, abundance. So things are happening for us. We're almost at the finish line. Almost at the finish line. I talked about this morning. I had a vision during meditation. I was climbing a mountain, a rocky mountain, and I said to the universe, "Okay, so what are you trying to tell me now? Just keep going. Don't give up. Just keep going." So I know it's difficult. I know it's overwhelming, but keep going. Don't give up. And yeah, because I'm just really good at supporting people, guide them. I'm very spiritual lady. I use this in my business. And I thought, why not just helping new businesses to get there where they want to be. And also, if I may say, there are a lot of scammers on Facebook who want to charge, not only on Facebook, but social media, who want to charge thousands and thousands of pounds for new businesses. And I think this is just it's not right.
I have experienced that myself in
Yeah,
just
me too.
researching different coaches and different aspects that I want to grow and develop in myself. And some of them I'm like, oh my God, like that's crazy. The
Mm,
amount of money that they're looking for.
yeah. If I had £5,000 to spare, why would I go and spend it on someone else?
Right.
And this is why I say to people when I raise awareness about this sort of things. There is one particular coach that I've seen online. Um, if you can't make more than £10,000 a month, you need to come to me. If I can make £10,000 a month without him helping me, that means that I can make another £10,000 a month without him helping me.
Right. It's the belief in yourself,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
That's where you need to focus.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's just because every so often, 2, 3 times a week, I do marketing research on social media. And I think I'm gonna stop doing it because I'm getting really pissed off.
Yeah. Well, and you definitely don't want that because you don't want to bring your energy down, right?
Exactly. Yeah. So I might just stay away from these things but yeah, I love helping businesses. I love working with new businesses and just to hear their ideas and some, and it really it's I don't even know what word to use. It's funny how the system have programmed us and brainwashed us. And as soon as we have an idea in our heads, that it's very, very exciting, and then we find a way to suppress it. Oh, I want to be, for example, I want to be, I don't know, a personal coach. And then there's always but what?
Yeah. It's our fears, I think, that we allow to stop
Yeah.
us,
Mm, yeah.
right? I mean, if you have the dream, it's for a reason. I
Yeah.
heard something, I think it was this morning actually, that if you have that calling within you, it's the echo of the people who need you. And I thought,
Yeah.
wow, that's pretty powerful. That's a good way
Yeah.
to think about it, right?
I like that. That is very spiritual as well.
Yeah.
It's like your ancestors are talking to you. This is the path to go to, not what you're doing now.
Yeah, absolutely. Like the work that we do, we focus on the inner work because it's
Yeah.
essential to our external success,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. Yeah, yeah.
I would love to hear maybe some of your thoughts on what you see in your business as the root of most of our blockages.
Fear.
Yeah, okay. I love that.
Fear.
That's what I see too.
So I've got a course on my academy online course, how to overcome fear, I think I called it. And it's very generic because fear can be associated with so many things. It could
Absolutely.
be fear of
Yes.
failure, something I had many years ago. Fear of losing money, a big one when it comes to businesses. Fear of not receiving someone's approval. God,
And that fear is all internal, right? It's all
exactly.
within us. It's not even outside of us.
Yeah. So, I don't know, for example, let's say you want to go out for a walk, but you're afraid that you're going to trip somewhere. Well, do you want to enjoy a walk or do you want to go outside walking and thinking the whole time that you're going to trip somewhere? Do you know what I mean? You're not going to enjoy a nice walk if you're afraid the whole time you're going to, and even if you trip somewhere, big walk, you're going to get up, you're going to brush off, you're going to move on.
Yeah.
And who says that you're going to trip somewhere? That's another thing. And also, let's not forget that, as energy workers, we what I say to people is you attract what you are. So if you are always you're in constant fear that something bad is going to happen, well, guess what? Something bad is going to happen.
Absolutely. Yeah. And that's the thing that I think our human selves are so conditioned to
Mm,
worry about what's going to happen, to worry about what happened in the past, what's going to happen in the future, that we don't focus on the now and we miss
mm.
out on the actual spiritual
Exactly.
part
Yeah.
of that, enjoying the moment.
Yeah, and this is one of the things that I use my mindfulness coaching training to, to sort of pass on to others. You focus on the now. There is a saying, what was it? Yesterday is a history, tomorrow is a mystery, today is a gift. That's why we call it present.
I love that. Yeah.
And I mean, past is the past. There's nothing you can do about it. Learn from it. The future, we don't know what's going to happen. My fiance loves to plan things, and I'm just stop it. Just stop it. Let's focus on the now and see how it goes. But now, yeah, that because what we are in the now. We are here.
Yeah.
I'm talking to you, you're talking to me. We are aware of the now. We exist in the now. What's going to happen in half an hour? I have no idea. I'll probably be cooking dinner.
Right.
So,
But we're so trained and
yeah,
conditioned to
yeah,
worry about everything outside of us. We tend to forget about ourselves, and I think that that's really where we have the most power
yeah, yeah,
as individuals or as an entrepreneur.
yeah. Um, it's do you know, and some people, when you explain it to them, that by focusing on the now, they will pretty much solve half their problems. They understand you, they know you're right, but it's trying to change the way that they think. It's like almost impossible, like something is tearing inside of them. Then that's because of the programming. And the same with fear. It is difficult to let go of fear, I'm not going to lie to you, but it is possible.
Yeah. What would you say is one of maybe the biggest mindset blocks that you've seen holding people back from their abundance?
Money block. Money.
Yeah.
Even I'm working on my money blocks every single day. um it's mine, for example, my money block is receiving help from people. But I'm working on it. Years ago was I was afraid to spend my money because I thought that, if I'll spend all of my money and then I'm not going to have any money.
Yep.
Another one was, if I wanted to be rich, it meant that I was greedy. That's not true. Um, yeah, people are also, what I'm noticing is that a lot of business owners don't quit their job straight away, or they're not considering resigning straight away because of the way we have been programmed to think as workers. You receive pay every month, and when they move into a full-time business ownership, obviously things are slightly different. And again, it's because we have been in the system for so long, and the transition is a bit of a shocker for them. They're thinking, oh, if I quit my job, I'm not going to have money. But again, it comes down to attract what you are. If you think that you're not going to have money, you're not going to have money.
Yeah.
Simple as that.
It is difficult though to get out of
Yeah,
that mindset,
it
right?
is.
I
Yeah,
think you need a coach to help support
yeah,
you in getting out of that mindset because we tend to fall back into these old patterns of
yeah,
fear and doubt. And even when we've done the work, because it's a spiral journey, like it's not
yeah.
linear. You're
Mm,
gonna go in and out of this consciousness, this
yeah.
new neural pathways that you're building. Sometimes you're gonna slip back.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Um, Doing your inner work, it's like working out for a marathon, or if you want to have a six pack, there is a work that needs to be done prior, and then it's the maintenance of the six pack, for example. Or if you when you finish running the marathon, if you want to continue running, it's
Yeah,
the same with inner work. Just because you did a week of meditation and journaling, it doesn't mean that the problem is solved.
yeah,
um
absolutely.
Healing is a journey, not a destination.
Yes.
And there's just so many layers to what needs to be done. And sometimes, people, it can be a bit overwhelming for someone who's new to energy work. But there's just so many layers to brainwashing it as well. I mean,
Yeah, absolutely. We've been conditioned by the world around us from the minute, the second of our birth. And so
mm,
to now see things through different perspectives is not always easy to do.
yeah, exactly. And people, a lot of, well, 5 years ago, I would say 95% of the people I talked to online had no idea that a transition was possible. Now more people are aware that there is a way out, and we are moving slowly. But I've had emotional healing, and I still have emotional healing sessions to this day. Um, there is help available, so whoever is watching this, you don't have to suffer. Um, but more and more people are now coming to us because don't forget, everybody has free will. You can't force people into healing. You can't force people into, I don't like to use the word change, to be honest, into, I don't know, transformation. um and more people are coming forward now because there is an upgrade. There's some kind of upgrade. We're
Yeah.
moving from third dimension into a higher dimension. And also, yes, we do sometimes fall off the wagon, as I like to say, but because we're humans at the end of the day, it happens.
Yeah, absolutely.
Couple of days ago, I think it was, no, I think it was last week. I was crying on my fiance's shoulder again because it's just sometimes you just have to let it out.
Yeah, it's important to let it out. You can't keep
Yeah,
pushing
yeah,
it down because you can only hold that beach ball
yeah,
underwater for so long, right? It's
exactly.
gonna
Yeah.
come bubbling up, and when you let that ball go, it's gonna spring and it's gonna be big.
Mm,
Our feelings are meant to feel them and to
yeah,
experience them as they come up so that we can let them go because the stress comes from trying to bury that beach ball.
yeah, yeah. I like that what you said about the beach ball. Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
analogy. Yeah. But yet we're getting there. Slowly we're getting there. And also it's spring, we just hit spring equinox. So, spring is all about rebirth, awakening, starting new, starting fresh. Um, but yeah, we're getting there slowly. Finally.
I love this time of year because it feels different, like, right? It
Mm,
feels like the flowers are all coming up, so it feels like you can actually renew yourself. So I think
yeah.
this is the perfect time to make changes in your life. And like you
Oh
said, it
yeah.
can be scary. What kind of a daily practice would you recommend to listeners to start shifting into an abundance mindset?
Meditation comes to mind.
Meditation?
The first thing, yeah, meditation. But I need to stress out the importance of meditation is a practice. Okay, if you don't practice it, it's not going to work. So again, what we said earlier, you don't do it 5 minutes once a month and you think it's all good. No, you do it. The cat wants to be on the podcast, guys.
Yeah, both of them love to. He's sitting outside the door, and both of them love as soon as they hear voices and we start talking spirituality, they got to be right next to me. But they're up, down, up, down, up, down.
Yeah. So yeah, meditation definitely. I've had so many. I've opened up my third eye with meditation. I've had so many visions. My entire business is based on what I've got in my what I see during meditation. And also I would say meditation and journaling, because journaling is a great way to release.
I love that. And I always recommend journaling, and I'm not very good at it. I do it, but not every day. So I do it at least 3 times a week, but not
That's
every
good.
day. But I just really started doing that a couple months back, and something came up this morning. I was listening to my astrological predictions with the eclipse that's coming up, And they referred back to a time frame. I forget when it was, but I hadn't been good at journaling back then. And they
Mm.
basically said, look back and see what was happening. It might have been November of 2023.
All
And
right.
they said, look back and see what was happening in that time frame of your life because it's coming up for you again. So I love the journaling piece because not only does it help you get things off your mind and get them out on paper, but you can look back on that. And when you listen to your astrological predictions, you can look back at certain time frames and see the patterns that have happened in your life so that you can predict those and you can make the decision to change those because our lives are the way it is because we continue to make the same
Yeah.
decisions. When
Yeah.
we journal on it, we start to see that when we start making different decisions, things start to change. So then we can see the shift. So I
Yeah.
love journaling and I agree with meditation also. What are your thoughts on hypnosis?
I had it done once, to be honest. It did not help me. I
Okay.
think because I was going through something very sort of emotional, very deep and emotional. um,
Yeah.
I'd love to try again because I'm in a different state of mind now. But I think hypnosis is one of those things that everybody calls it alternative treatment or holistic treatment. Um, and I think it's the way forward. I think it's in combination with other healings like alternative healings, healing practices like Reiki, shamanic healing, I think it was called. Um, Also, in combination with meditation and so on. I think it's definitely the way forward. Yeah.
Yeah, I've recently been interested in learning a little more about it. I actually took it was a free class that was offered yesterday, and it was a money mindset
Oh,
hypnosis where it would break you free from your money blocks. But I'll be honest with you, so it started on Saturday. It was supposed to just be Saturday. And he had technical difficulties and everybody got kicked off. So they did it again on Sunday and I did it, but I had a house full of people, so I was sort of sidetracked. So I don't know that I got everything out of it. So I listened to it last night at bedtime because he sent the recording and I fell asleep. So I'm going to do it again today. But it'll be interesting to see how it works and the beginning of it that I do remember before I fell asleep last night, he talked about some of the getting into the energy of the negative mindset. And I
yeah.
didn't like that because I know how energy works and I want
Yeah.
to feel the good stuff that I want to move towards, not the bad stuff that I want to let go. So I
Yeah.
struggled a little bit with that, but I'm going to try it
Mm.
again today.
Yeah, let me know. Let me know how you found it because I from experience, if it's free, it's a sales pitch. Also, if it's free, it's definitely not going to solve your problems.
Yeah.
And also, just because the person who is doing this free thing says that it works, it doesn't mean that it's going to work. I always say to people, listen to your intuition. If your intuition is telling you don't listen to it, don't listen to it.
Yeah. And I love that you're bringing up intuition. I also just listened to another podcast, I think it was this morning, about how we often ignore our intuition
Yeah.
because it's that still small voice within us and we're not sure it really means anything. In the end, that's our soul talking to us and telling us, leading us to the next right thing. But it's often asking us to do things that are outside of our comfort zone, and that's where we get stuck in that fear
Yeah.
mentality. But when we don't listen to that, those lessons keep repeating and they keep coming back bigger and bigger and bigger. What are your thoughts on that?
Um, well, negative mindset is like a very annoying fly that you can't sort of get to. Um, and everything comes with practice, how you're gonna let go of the negative mindset. You just have to, at the beginning, you just have to force yourself, not to think about negative. Um,
Yeah.
again, journaling comes handy because journaling, for example, can gives you clarity. You can see what you've written, and you can use what you've written to change the sentence into positive. So I'm not sure if I said this to you before. So it's very often raining here in England. So you can either say, "Oh, it's raining," or "Oh, it's raining." It's this always this different point of view.
Yeah.
Um,
I love that because you just did the exact facial expressions for that, like to represent that. Because you're right, when you are negative Nelly and down about it raining, that's how the energy of your day is going to go. But if
yeah,
you're like, oh, it's raining, whatever,
yeah,
then you know that you still have positive energy. You're still bringing positive energy back to you.
yeah.
You
I can't
are what you put out there.
exactly. I can't control the weather. When I
Right.
lived in London, I traveled to work by train, and trains were often delayed or cancelled. And I was like, oh well, I'm just gonna read a book or listen to music.
Yeah. And that's, I think, how I decided to switch to the relieving stress because that's kind of how it is when you do this work. You start to realize you don't have control over everything
No,
and it's happening for a reason. So
yeah,
go with the flow.
yeah,
And it
yeah.
helps you, I think, to do that.
Oh yeah, going with the flow. This is one of the many things I teach as well. Go with the flow. And people's like, what does that mean? Go with the flow. But just go with the flow. When you're cycling and you go down a hill and you let the bicycle just goes to travel naturally, it's the same thing. You just go with the flow.
Yeah.
Um, because when you go with the flow, you surrender. You say to the universe, I trust you. I trust what you've got for me. And because when you're always asking the universe, oh, when is this going to happen? When is that going to happen? And you're slowing down the process because what you're doing is you're saying to the universe, I don't trust you. And the universe will be like, well, if you don't trust me, I'm not going to work with you.
Yeah. I love that.
The cat
Um,
again.
yeah, she loves to hear me talk. Here she comes again. She's good company though.
Yeah, she's very fluffy.
I've got her, and then I've got one at the door, scratching at the door to come in because he hears us talking too. So, what advice would you give to someone listening who knows that they want more and they're just not sure where to start when it comes to a new business or a business where they might feel stuck?
Um, I would say just sit down in a quiet room, quiet or somewhere, there's no noise itself, and tap into your intuition. Ask yourself, where shall I go from now? And whatever answer comes into your head, that's it. Because
So,
by doing this, you're not overthinking it. People are overthinking it, oh, shall I start a business? Shall I quit my job? What business am I supposed to do? Shall I do this? Shall I do da, 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 da? Half an hour later, there's anxiety.
yes, you're right. That's how we get stuck in it. We get stuck by all these questions in our minds
Yeah.
when our intuition knows everything. And then if you bring the meditation into that, a lot of times I get my answers through meditation. Like you said, your third eye opened up through meditation. A lot of times I get downloads through meditation, and people always say to me, well, I don't know how to meditate, or I can't meditate, I can't sit still long enough, or something to that effect. To me, meditation is just sitting quietly and seeing what comes through. My mother used to call it resting her eyes, just sitting there quietly with nothing going on around you, no people around you, and just see what comes to you.
Yeah,
Would
exactly.
you say that meditation, or what would you say to you if someone said, I can't do that, I can't sit still, I fall asleep, whatever?
Well, there isn't I can't, there is I don't want to.
Okay.
So it's like, when I used to smoke years ago, and I don't smoke anymore. So it's like being a smoker. Yes, you can quit smoking. You just don't want to.
It's a decision that you make,
Yeah, it's a
right?
personal choice.
A
Don't give me
choice.
that crap you're addicted to smoke, just to cigarette. Yeah, it is addiction, but you can stop.
Yeah.
Nobody's forcing you to smoke.
Yeah.
And it's the same with meditation. I've had many people telling this to me. My mind keeps wandering. I can't focus. Blah blah blah. Yes, you can. You just don't want to.
Well,
The
and I
thing,
always tell people, let your mind wander because that's what we do. That's what minds do, right?
yeah, that's why I say to them, if your mind keeps wandering, just let it. If this is your first time meditating, this is perfectly normal.
Yeah.
Just keep breathing, focus on your breath, and you know, the second time you meditate, your mind is not going to wander as much, and then there will be the third time, the fourth time, and so on and so on. And slowly, slowly, you're going to get into a position where your mind is going to be empty, and this is what you want, an
Yep.
empty mind, because the whole point of meditation is to clear your mind,
Yes.
to welcome visions, ideas, inspirations, your higher self, whatever you want to call it. Um, but it takes practice. You know,
Absolutely. I totally agree.
it's like everything in life. You can't just you just pass your driving license for your driving test. You get into the car, you think you can drive um all the way without, I don't know, stopping for a break or something. If you're an experienced driver, you're going to have to take it slow. It's the same with meditation. You're going to have to take it slow.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
Absolutely.
but anything is possible as long as you put your mind into it. And the thing is, meditation is so beneficial for mental and physical health, because when your mind is healthy, your body will be healthy.
Yeah. We manifest disease ourselves in
Yeah,
the thoughts that we generate, which generate
yeah,
feelings and resistance, and that
mhm,
resistance causes disease.
yeah, exactly. That's all it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
So,
it can be challenging though. I mean, you and I have both been on this journey. It's not an easy thing. I think you said that earlier. It's not an easy thing. It
no,
definitely can be a challenge, but
well,
the benefits of it
oh,
are well worth
yeah,
the effort
yeah,
of it.
absolutely. Well, that's part one of the problems. People can't be bothered. We're so used to going to the doctor and take the magic pill and everything else going to be fine. Well, yeah, by doing this, first of all, you're giving your power away. And second of all, if you do the inner work, you don't have to go anywhere. You are the magic pill. You have the
Right?
magic inside you. Because, this is
Absolutely.
what the system has sort of programmed us to think. You have to go somewhere else to ask, to seek help. You need to go to a company to get a job. You need to go to a bank to get money. You need to go to a supermarket to get food, and so on and so on. When you can do everything ourselves, and because we're going to this massive transition, and people are starting to realize that, oh, I need to make an effort. Well, yeah, it's not going to happen magically. I'm
Yeah,
afraid.
yeah, yeah, I agree. What would you say the most important lesson that you've learned on your journey has been that you think might support other starting out or feeling stuck and looking to become unstuck and looking to go to the next level? What would you say the most important lesson that you've learned would be that has could help them?
Take your own advice in consideration first.
I love that. And
If
I'm so bad at that.
I'm not going to tell you how many business decisions I have made because I listen to people. And every
Yeah.
one of these decisions have failed, by the way.
Yes. Oh my God, I love this because most of like I've taken many, many classes to try to help bring my business to the next level, right? And they are all giving you this advice, but you have to listen to that small voice within you. Like my inner voice keeps saying, just be you, just be
Yeah,
you,
yeah,
just be
yeah,
you. And they're all telling me, have a script for this, have a script for that. So what I've learned is to have outlines and to wing it with
yeah,
who I am,
yeah.
so
Exactly.
that way I can bring the two together so that I don't get stuck in the fear
Yeah.
of, oh my God, what if I forget what I want to talk about? Which I love what I do, so that's not going to happen. But in my mind, I've have these negative beliefs for so long. And again, we're on this spiral journey that I fear that.
Yeah. Another one is, if you don't agree with someone, you would be called rude. Um, this is how I felt in the past personally. I don't care anymore. Okay. If you I don't need you don't need to take anybody's advice in consideration. You know, it's your business, it's your responsibility. You decide. You know, they're free to give you people are free to give you their advice. Whether you're going to take it or not, you decide. Yeah,
Yeah.
my favorite, my favorite advice is from people who never run a businesses in their entire lives, but you know, they're happy to tell me how to do it. When was the last time you quit your job and you start your own business?
Yeah.
Oh, oh, oh,
That is so true, though, because we tend to listen to advice of the people around us just because that's how we've been conditioned. But when it really gets down to it, have those people been through what you've been through? Have they experienced what you've experienced? Have they felt what you've felt? No. They
no,
can't make the decision for you. You need to do it on your own. But the only way to do that is to not listen to them, to go within, to meditate, to listen to yourself. And that's, I think, a big place where we all get stuck just because we've had all of this conditioning that just believe this is how life is supposed to work. This is who we're
yeah,
supposed to be.
we were raised to be people pleasers.
Yeah. And who we are is so much bigger than that.
Yeah,
But now, buried underneath all of that conditioning and pulling all that out takes time.
yeah, exactly. It takes time. It's not a 5 minute job, no. It takes time, it takes consistency, effort. You know, it is a lot of work, but believe me, it's worth it. It is worth it.
Yeah. So I would love to hear a little bit about your event this morning and how that
Oh.
went.
So I actually had someone commented on on the live that they didn't speak English, and I'm thinking, well,
Why are you here?
okay. Anyway, so I've decided because I started my group, I can't remember how long ago, it was sometime this year. I started my Facebook group and I've been meaning to do something different for the group only. So I thought, why not do live readings for the collective? And so I'm going to do this for a month, every Monday at 10 o'clock UK time. I'm going to do live readings for the business collective. So it's only for business. And on Wednesday at 10 o'clock, I'm going to post business tip with a spiritual twist again for a month. And yeah, it was good. Again, that this is something I haven't done before, you know, reading live, um, reading the cards live.
Yeah,
But I wasn't panicking. I wasn't worried that I might say something wrong. No, I just did it. It was great fun. It's great fun
that's great. That's amazing.
because I have a service actually, a tarot card reading and energy review for businesses. But I just wanted to do something special for the members of my Facebook group. And I thought, why not do some readings? Because people need some guidance. We're going through some interesting times at the moment, and yeah, we need a bit of guidance.
Absolutely. And you know what I find with the any kind of a tarot card reading or channeled message or anything like that, what I find is that they provide me with the positive boost or the energetic momentum that I need because sometimes I get stuck in my own head. I mean, like I said, this is a
Yeah.
spiral journey and we're human and it happens, right? And I find that listening to the tarot card readings or channeled messages really helps me to relate to who I am and where I'm going and
Mm,
forget about that human part of me that keeps me
yeah,
stuck.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I
Yeah,
love that you're doing that.
people sometimes misunderstand tarot cards reading. So the
Yes.
tarot is not going to tell you that you're going to buy a red car in 2 weeks' time at 10 o'clock in the morning or something. No. The tarot is going to guide you how to get to where you want to be spiritually and physically. Because you know the material stuff in our lives, there is a it's part of the abundance. And it's the material stuff is like a reward when we do our inner work.
Yeah, I feel like it's almost a confirmation of what that still small voice inside of me is saying,
Yeah, yeah,
right?
that's
And if it doesn't resonate, that's okay.
yeah,
But when it resonates, it's usually a confirmation for me.
yeah, 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 yeah.
So I love that part of it.
Yeah, I think it's in, I like that I include spirituality in what I do. Um, yeah, I think people need it.
I agree. I think spirituality is a subject that often gets misunderstood because I
Mm.
think people don't really know what it is. Same with
Yeah,
manifestation.
yeah.
But what does spirituality mean to you?
Actually, I had a live event, and I've got a masterclass that I've called Tapping into Spirituality for Business Growth. And at the beginning of this masterclass, I talk about spirituality versus religion. So spirituality for me is tapping into my intuition to achieve better life.
Sorry, you froze. I don't know what happened.
You froze too. Oh my
Yeah,
God. Then
weird.
we start talking about spirituality and the internet went down.
Yes. I don't know if that's a sign. Yeah, you were saying what spirituality means to you, and you were saying that you had a program around it.
Yeah, I hosted a live event and I have a masterclass. And I talk about the difference between spirituality and religion. But for me, spirituality is of tapping into my intuition and listening and allowing my higher self to guide me towards better life.
I love that.
Because, spirituality is all about looking within. Religion is, when I said earlier that we go to look for external help, religion is external help. You go to church, you go to a priest, you're praying to something somewhere. Um, as people, I don't like to refer to something as God because God for me is so infiltrated. So God for me is my higher self. Whether you're going to call it God, the universe, divine power, whether you give
Yeah,
it a name, that's a personal choice. And this is the good thing about spirituality that you've got the freedom to call it whatever you want. You can call it Judy, you can call it Bob, you can call it Michael if
right.
you want.
Yeah,
um, and spirituality also inspires you to gain more knowledge about the world around us. You're not stuck in the same place.
yeah. I love that. And I agree. So for spirituality for me means learning to find the or finding the magic within and learning to sorry, I just got sidetracked. Finding the magic within and learning how to go within and find the best parts of yourself, to stop allowing those things outside of you to cause you the fear to
Yeah.
stop you in your tracks.
Yeah, exactly.
And
Yeah.
and listening to your internal guidance system, your intuition. And that's kind of what I do is helping people to connect with that through their human design. So that's really important to me. But I agree with you that spirituality is something that's so misunderstood.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, people think that and even the tarot, it's evil. And why would you do
Yeah.
that? Like I have an aunt who I think thinks I'm in a cult because I study spirituality. Like she's always saying to me, you know what you're doing, right? And giving me speeches about God and lines from the Bible. And I'm not a very religious person. I believe in God, but I believe, as you do, that God is a higher power, my higher self. He's part of all of us. I think
Yeah.
we are together, we make up God. We all
Yeah.
have God within us in ourselves. And I don't believe that religion needs to be, I don't need to go to church every Sunday or every
Oh,
week
yeah.
to express my love for God. I feel like He's with me every day, all
Exactly.
day. And as long as I'm living up to my own standards and believing in myself, I believe that I'm connecting with God.
Yeah. Yeah,
So,
exactly. Yeah. You don't have to go to church to I don't know, pray, talk to someone or something. You can
and
just sit.
there are people who love to go to church,
Yeah,
like my
yeah,
brother-in-law, sister-in-law, my mother-in-law, they love church. They get so much out of it. And I love that. And my kids went to a religious school. So I just feel more connected to God in my own quietness than I
yeah,
do in a room full of people that I don't know.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Exactly.
So, how can people connect with you and learn more about the Manifestation Academy or Wealthpreneurs? And I want to put your contact information in the podcast information so that people can get in touch with you. So how can they get in touch with you?
Right. So you can find me on Facebook. I not long ago, what's the word? I closed down my Instagram account because it was getting too much, and my Facebook page, my business Facebook page. So they can only find me on Facebook now. My personal page is Yana Kaneva. My Facebook group is called Join the Manifestation Academy for Entrepreneurs. I'm going to send you all the links. So uh,
Perfect.
I'm also upload content on TikTok and YouTube, sort of support for people. But I would say Facebook is definitely the main place to find me.
Okay, perfect. And do you have any last minute wisdoms or nuggets of wisdom that you want to share or that you'd like to add?
Love yourself.
I love that.
Love yourself. This is loving yourself is the key to success to everything.
I love that. And of course, you know that that's what I started my business as, is teaching people to learn to love themselves. So I
Yeah.
wholeheartedly agree with you. I think it all starts there.
Yeah, and you will be surprised how many people actually don't know how to do it.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and that's the thing, the go within. People always tell you go within. And people are like, well, how the heck do I do that? So I just created my next program on how to go within. So
Oh,
I,
good, good, excellent.
yeah, I think it's a challenge for people. I didn't know at first. It
Yeah,
took me a long time and a lot of courses. And so that's why I wanted to do that, to put it all in one place.
good,
So
good. Yeah. People need that. Like I said to you, we're moving into a high frequency and the light workers are going to come in handy because we have knowledge that normal people don't.
yes, yes, I love that. I love talking to you. I feel like you and I are connected, like we're soul sisters.
Yeah,
So thank you so much for being on the podcast today and
my,
sharing your
my pleasure.
nuggets of wisdom and your soul with us. I invite any business owners out there who might be feeling stuck to reach out to Yana. She has a gift for getting to the root cause of your blockages and supporting you in getting to the next level of your own greatness and abundance within your business. So the links to get in touch with her will be located in the description box below, if you are ready to take your business to the next level. So thank you so much for listening. I hope you've been able to see even more of your greatness and the potential of your business with Yana today. And if you like this episode, please share, like, and subscribe. And until next time, keep your energy high and your dreams even higher. So bye, everyone.
Bye.